Hello everyone, how's it going? This is Alpha Core HD Gaming and here we are in Barcelona for round number 5 of this F1 2014 Championship. If you've seen round number 4 you'll know how challenging a race that was. It was really difficult. It was one of the most difficult races I've had to drive on this game and well, on any F1 game, because the wet weather in this game is really difficult and really challenging for driving on a wheel especially. But here we are in Spain and thank God it's dry and we've done a lot of setup work on the car this weekend just to try and get ourselves competitive, and because this track here it's really crucial to get the car perfectly set up in the final sector, especially because of all the traction zones. And as you'll probably know if you're an F1 fan, Barcelona is a really high downforce circuit, and this is basically the test of your car. If your car's good here, it's going to be good elsewhere. And so here we are on a lap in practice, and you can see we've set a 125.8, which isn't particularly fast. It's quite slow, to be honest. And so you can see we're coming around that corner there, just trying to get the car turned in. So this is it. This is basically on the prime tyres, I think. So we haven't tried out the options yet. We're just building up our speed over the weekend and seeing how we do. After China, we were kind of 5th in the championship. I think we were 38 points behind Nico Rosberg. We managed to come home with a point finish in that race. You can see we're actually going purple in the session here, so we run really deep there, get a bit of a lock up, but managed to gather it up just about. So coming up this hill, it's quite difficult to get the power down because the car starts to like step out because of the traction. You can see there we have to correct it, and carrying your speed for this section is really important as well, making sure that you keep enough speed and just hitting that chicane as best you can. And getting the power down, because that part of the lap is really quite crucial. So down the straight you can see a 125.388 for that lap time, which is 2 seconds up on Jean-Eric Vergne at this point in the weekend, but that isn't really kind of indicative of what's going to happen, as you'll see in qualifying, which is going to be coming up pretty soon. I'm not sure if I show you the setup here. I might show it like towards the race, but you can see we actually finished top of the practice session, which is probably the first time we've done that this season. I can't remember, I think it is. But in qualifying 1, here we go, get into the car and see how we can do this weekend. So just thank God it's dry, because that wet weather was absolutely horrible. It was so challenging, so difficult, and I don't want to do that again anytime soon. So coming into lap number 3 of this run on the prime tyres in Q1, we got a 24.9 by Daniel Kvyat to beat. So we're coming up to the line now, and we've done a 1 minute 25.3. But this is going to be our fastest lap now that you're going to see in this session. So at the moment we are 4.5 tenths shy of Kvyat's time, but we're going to hopefully go faster on this lap. Basically on the prime tyres they do take a couple of laps to get to temperature, the options can be pretty much ready to go straight away, whereas you'll see here we're now nearly a tenth up on our time, and we're actually 2 tenths up on Kvyat's time. So we've got a slow moving Marussia ahead of us. I think that's Bianchi, might be, can't tell from here. Yeah, so we've gone past him, gets out of the way pretty well. We've got 2 laps of fuel on board, so we're going to be pretty much running empty by the time by the end of this lap. So flat out right hander, you do sometimes have to lift though, so you don't go into the gravel on the left, and you do have to take some of the right curve and brake early for this corner, because if you go run deep you're going to lose a lot of time. We nailed that one quite sweetly. We're actually down on our time on the previous lap, so we're still just over 10 foot, but we've lost a little bit of time in the middle sector. So you can gain a lot of time if you nail this final chicane correctly. If you get too much left-hand curve, it does try to turn to the left a little bit, but we absolutely nailed that final corner, so we should be up on our time now. So I think that was improvement on the last lap. So, and sure enough, we made half a second. So you can see just by hitting that chicane correctly and getting through it, we've made half a second, which has now put us top, and we've just gone nearly a tenth quicker than Kvyat. So we'll see where that puts us in Q1. It should probably get us through. I mean, that was a decent competitive lap time, I reckon. So you can see we've actually finished the session in 6th place, and we're only like 2.5 tenths off Rosberg. But yeah, those guys have got so much more performance in hand. We just in a good position though at the minute. I mean, look at Felipe, he's like 6/10 off us. So I don't know what he's doing. Is he sandbagging or something? But we've lost Magnussen, we've lost Sutil, and I don't think there's many others we lost. But we're through to Q2, and pretty decent time on the primes. So we've been putting a lot of work in on the setup this weekend, just trying to get the car back in, especially the traction in the final sector down and working well, because it's difficult because you've got to balance the car. In the first part of the lap, you've got to have it so it can perform in the high-speed corners and have good turning and good grip through the high-speed stuff. But then last sector, you've got to be really good on the traction and really responsive in turning left and right really quickly because of the chicanes and things like that. So we're up behind Grosjean at the minute. He's actually probably going to help us on this lap though, because if we get up behind him here, we should have a lot of slipstream as well as the DRS. But you can see we're getting a lot of wheel spin coming out of that final corner. So we're going to floor it down this straight, and because Grosjean's there, he's going to give us extra speed, which should put us up in the first sector a little bit. We will be compromised though if we have to come across there. So our turn in for that first corner is not very good, because we had to come a bit further to the right than we wanted to for turning. But we've done pretty well to get out this corner, and we've recovered from any time we would have lost from Grosjean. It's actually a very quick first sector of 22.9, and because Verne's on the left there, we can't run the car out to the outside, so again we're losing time. Ideally you want to run out to the left there and just use as much of the track as possible, so you don't have to turn in and losing speed. But you can see there we're getting away from that corner pretty well. This lap time is going to be pretty decent, I think. This is probably the first lap on the options we've done. So we'll just see how it comes, and so you take a bit of the right hand curve there, so you don't run out too far to the left on the gravel. And we're coming down this straight now, and going to brake, and a little bit of a lockup, but we use it to our advantage there. We actually locked the back wheels a little bit, which gave the car some oversteer, so we just ran with it and turned in. Just being careful on the power of that hill, because that can kick you out to the left or just spin you off to the right. So just make sure you don't take too much of this left-hand curve, because you'll see it does kick you out a little bit to the left. And coming onto the final straight now, we get a good exit, a really good exit. So what was it, 24.8 in Q1, 24.0. So on the options we've gained another 8/10. So there is more time in those tyres, and the track will ramp up some more. So 24 dead is what we've done in Q2. We've actually got out of the way of Grosjean, I think that was. Just let him go through. So you can see we've just got through by just over a tenth and a half, and Felipe is just, as soon as Felipe's put those option tyres on, you can see, look, he's done a 23.5, so he's improved his lap time by what, 2 seconds? So what he was doing in Q1 I don't know, but he's just found 2 seconds on the option tyres from being on the primes. So Rosberg's topped the session at 22.9, so he's like 1.1 quicker than us. And we're into Q3, so qualifying is going much better than it did in China, as you can see already, and so we're going to hopefully get a good result this weekend and have a good performance. So coming into this fast lap, you see we've actually done 4 laps in Q3, and we've already done 23.5 in the first run. So this is the second run, and probably the second lap of the second run, I think it is. So we were ideally going up for three runs. Sorry, for 2 runs with 3 laps. But you can see there we've just done a 20. We've gone faster again, so we've done 23.4. So we've actually improved again. And this is the second lap of this 3-lap run, I believe. And so what we got? We got a 22.7. We're up again on our time, but we're still a tenth and a bit down on Hamilton, who is now topping the session on a 22.6. See a little bit of a lock-up because we are pushing really hard now. We're just trying to brake as late as we can and just take as much speed into the corners as we can right now. Flick it to the left for this chicane, this left-right hand corner. So take some more of the right-hand curve as you can, take as much as you can, and get the DRS open. So 53.4 is what we're after, and what have we done? We've done 54 dead, so 53.8, so we're 4.5 tenths down on Hamilton still. We're 10th and a bit up on our actual time. Just trying to get the power up that hill. A couple more corners to go. Taking lots of speed for the chicane now. You see we'll probably hit this left-hand curve too much. No, we actually take it quite well, so we've absolutely nailed that final corner. what have we got? What have we got? A 23.382. So Felipe's a tenth and a half quicker than us. So he's just found some pace that he didn't have before. So we've been out qualified by our teammate for probably the first time this season. I don't know, but we've been out qualified by him. But yeah, I mean, this track is really, your car's got to be perfect to get a good lap time. But I mean, what are we down? 9.913 down on the Mercedes. So we're actually quicker than Kimi, so that's a really good result, and we're quicker than Jenson Button, and we're only 2/10 shy of the Red Bull of Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo. So that's a pretty good qualifying. I'll take that. And we were supposed to finish 9th or above, so we finished 8th, which again is a good result. Out qualified by Felipe, but that doesn't bother me because I know for a fact we've got a faster race car than him, and we're going to show him a clean pair of heels in the race because we've done a lot of work on this car. So he might have done some work on his car for qualifying, but we've got the faster car in the race, and we're going to prove it over these next few laps. So here we are in the garage, and we're going to have a look here at race strategy. No, we're not. We're going to look at setup just quickly. You see here, aero, we've done 6 and 6. We went quite high on that, 48.52 high in standard. 6 and 1, 2 to 11 and 1 for the suspension. 97% engine. You see that's how we've done the alignment. It was really quick there. So if you do want to see any of that, just pause the video and go back and have a look. But that's the grid. Hamilton on pole, Rosberg, Alonso, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Vettel, Massa, then us, and then Raikkonen and Button in the top 10. And I just wanted to get this race over with. I wanted to get out on the grid and get this race done because I knew we were gonna have a good race. So I just knew it. So this is us rolling out the garage, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna smash this one. We're gonna after the wet race in China. I'm really determined to go better than that race and perform better. And you see we're lined up alongside Felipe. And we've got Kimi behind us, we've got Vettel in front of us in that Red Bull, so we're just going to switch to lean mix on the grid just to minimise wheel spin as best we can. We're still going to get a lot of it, as you can see. We're being really careful on the throttle, but just loads of wheel spin, and that's where the AI have got their advantage in the traction. We're coming down to the first turn. We've got Button, who's just trying to pull inside. We have to go really careful here. We're trying to leave some room for Vettel as well. We're going to try and sneak up the inside of Felipe and get that position off him, and then we're going to get our race started. So Hülkenberg's running really wide there, and we're going to dive up the inside of these guys. We've got Rosberg on our left still, just taking Ricciardo as well. See, Rosberg wants to run us off the track here. He just comes across and knocks us off onto the grass a little bit, and he does that later on in the race as well as kind of more argy-bargy later on. So here we go. We've got ahead of Rosberg, and now we've got Alonso and Hamilton ahead of us. And we're going to try and manage our fuel as best we can as well around this track. So lap 1 up to P3, decent start, and I don't think we're going to have the legs to keep up with Alonso and Hamilton, but we'll see how this develops and see what kind of race we can have in this, from now on. So being really careful. Remember, these are the option tyres, and this track has got really quite high tyre wear, so we've got to be careful. And a little bit too much turning for that corner, which gave us a corner cutting warning. So I don't think that happens very often or again in the race, but we just got a little bit too much turning on that corner. It's like with some of these corners, the car will either understeer or oversteer. I don't know what it is, whether it's just the car's balance or what, but the car is just like, the Williams is really kind of happy at the back end, and sometimes it'll do what you want, sometimes it won't. But we've got a little bit of a gap on Rosberg already, so we're holding our own, and you can see there's a train on the mini-map where our teammate's stuck in it. We're 1.8 behind Alonso, but we're just going to see where we go from here. So we're trying to keep it nice and neat and tidy to start with. We don't want to end up like getting dirt on the tyres or losing lap time from going off the track. If we're not quick enough to keep ahead of Rosberg, we're not quick enough, but we're just going to try and run our race the best we can. So into this right-hander, just fling it in. We took about 150 through there, so that was all right. So all the way down to second, you see we've run a little bit deep, but we use it to our advantage. The lock up on the wheels, so go up this hill, you just got to be really careful, because if you're still turning and put the power down, you'll lose the back end. So Alonso and Hamilton are fighting a little bit, so we don't cut that corner that time. Gonna get a decent turn in for that one. So we're keeping our speed up for that chicane very well at the moment. We'll see how that develops when tyre wear comes in, but so 125 dead, which is what, a second and a half off our qualifying time. But we've now we're 2.3 behind Alonso. We're 3 laps in, so they're dropping us by like a second or so a lap, 8 tenths or so. So we're doing all right. Remember what car we're in here? We're in a Williams. We're not in one of the front running cars, and we're actually in the pack of Alonso, Hamilton, and Rosberg. We're in like a Ferrari Mercedes sandwich at the moment. But we're actually miles ahead. See the train that's going around that corner back there. We're miles ahead of that train. Someone's holding that train up, but we're miles ahead. So that's great for us, because it means that we're going to have like a really good chance of holding on to 3rd or 4th place here when we pit in. So this time we brake a little bit earlier and we get turned in very nicely for that corner, for that hairpin. This is one of the tracks where I had to put a lot of practice in, because it's a really, I don't know, it's just really difficult to get this track right, especially this last chicane. You can lose so much time or gain so much time depending on how you take it. You see coming out the last corner, in 4th gear for example, you get a lot of wheel spin when you try to turn the car. So 25.2, we're only 2 tenths off our fastest lap there, so we've got a bit defensive because Rosberg's got a run on us. Hamilton's at 23.9, so he's about a second quicker than us at the moment, second, and Rosberg just absolutely nailed himself. I did actually look at the replay footage there. Basically, we ran up the inside, we didn't touch Rosberg, he ran out wide, we were side by side going for that corner. Rosberg ran over the curb on the left and came back in, and basically hit the back of us. So think of Pastor Maldonado in Valencia in 2012, and that's what you got. That's what happened. So Rosberg just wanted to be too close to us in that corner there, and say earlier in the race he hit us as well. So there's nothing much we could do. We just tried to hang it on the inside of the corner, and there was enough room for 2 cars, but Rosberg rejoined the track and hit us. So he's kind of spoilt his race a little bit, which has given us a little bit of a breather, but he's cost us 1.8 seconds. So because we had to take avoiding action and nearly spun out because they hit us, we lost 1.8 seconds in the first 2 sectors alone, which has allowed Alonso to just run away. Alonso and Hamilton are now nearly 6 seconds ahead. So Rosberg has recovered, he's got out of his spin, he's about 6 seconds or so behind, 6.4 behind. But that's really cost us. You see, at 2 seconds, that incident cost us. So I don't know what he was thinking. Because if I did show you the replay footage, we were like, our wings are about, my wing was about a foot away from him. So he ran out wide, but then kept running wide. He didn't have to go off the track. He just kept going until he went off onto the runoff area, even though the room was there. And then he just rejoined over the curb and went straight into the back of me. So I didn't really have anywhere to go. But the gap between us and everybody else is quite big, even though we've lost 2 seconds. So that just shows how fast we are on this track. We are doing pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with that. So now we're just waiting for pit stop time. You see, we're squealing the wheels again. The good thing about F1 2014 is that you can get away with like really late trail braking. You can get away with it. I've been recently playing F1 2012 again, and you'll see some more career stuff from that. But basically, F1 2012, you cannot. If you try and brake and then turn at the same time, you can't. As soon as you start to turn the wheel when you're still braking, you'll get a lockup. Whereas on this, it's a lot more forgiving. So in that respect, I think that F1 2012 is a little bit harder to drive. F1 2014 is a little bit more forgiving, and you can carry a lot more speed into corners whilst on the brakes. Alonso's gone and he's basically left us behind, and Rosberg is very quick. You're going to see how quickly he's closing up on us, but this is mainly down to the tyre wear kicking in as well, because we get a lot more tyre wear. This car is terrible for tyre wear. Felipe, our teammate, has last race, I think you'll have seen if you've watched it, that he had to pit in the intermediate in the wet conditions, and we didn't. We got away with it, but the tyre wear is really bad, so that kind of accounts for how fast Felipe is in qualifying. But then in the race, he needs to pit quite a lot. I mean, so do we, but we're somehow fighting it. I mean, we're doing things with setup to trying to reduce that tyre wear. Felipe is probably running like a default setup on the game. So he does have a few little things on his side, like the fact that he's got very good traction because he's an AI car, and so his tyre wear will be lower. But we've got things on our side in terms that we can set the car up, and we're just quicker than him. So we're actually quicker than him in terms of like the speed we can carry through corners. He's set to do a certain speed because that's how Codemaster programmed him. But we can just carry more speed if we want to. If we want to do something different to him, we can, and that's the advantage we have. But yeah, terrible tyre wear on this car, and it's traction's its worst trait. I've probably said this already, but Rosberg's catching us really quickly, because say he's in a car that's like literally, when it's in top trim, when it's in its best condition, it's like probably 2 seconds a lot quicker than us. Especially when our tyre wear is kicking in. And we're running lean mix because we're saving some fuel, because we are going to be going on to the prime tyres later on, so we're going to have to. So the AI is going to probably be quicker than us in that respect as well, so Rosberg will be quicker. So we're going to need to save some fuel, because we're going to have to fight towards the end of this race. I mean, the tyres don't feel too bad at this point. We'll drop 10 seconds to Alonso, so 7 laps, 10 seconds, not too bad. But tyres are feeling okay. So I was thinking, well, I don't want to be on the prime tyres too long either, because the tyre wear on them will be quite high. 10 laps, because we'd have to probably take 10 laps on them prime tyres. So yeah, we were being called in for the pits, but we decided to go around again. Simply because, like I said, I don't want to be on the prime tyres for 10 laps, because I know the tyre wear's high, but I'm thinking with a lower fuel load and maybe one less lap, if we can hang these ones out for another lap, then will we have less tyre wear towards the end of the race. You can see that Alonso was in the pit lane and we passed him now, so we're up to second. Hamilton's just up the road, you can see about 10 seconds or so, maybe a little bit more, 13 seconds. And Rosberg, after his spin, as I said, this is how much quicker this car is, that Mercedes, than us when everything starts to play against us. But our teammate has just come out of the pit lane, I think. You can see him on the main straight come out of the pit lane. Well, you can see there we're actually having to take 140 through that corner now instead of 150, because we just haven't got the grip. And here we come into this hairpin for the last time, I think, because we're going to have to pit in. You can see there's a symptom of tyre wear. Back end stepping out, which has just made me be even more cautious up this hill, because I'm fighting the steering wheel now. Rosberg's all over the back of us. We're going to have to pit in. You can see if you turn in there, the back end just doesn't want to stick. Yeah, we're definitely coming in. And that's how good the Mercedes tyre wear is. Rosberg continues around. So Rosberg's going to have a lap fresher tyres than us at the end of the race. Got a couple of cars that followed us into the pit lane here as well. So we're on lap number 9 of 17. Brand new set of boots on the car and a 3.7 second pit stop, and we're out and we're clean. And Perez hasn't pitted in. It's clear. That's clear as day. He's probably still on the primes. But we're actually ahead of Vettel, so this is very good. I mean, we're in this Williams and we're ahead of a Red Bull in Spain, on a track where aero and downforce and the perfect car is what is needed. We're ahead, so it's very good. We run a little bit wide, but we managed to cover it up, get a few marbles on the tyres. But yeah, this is gonna be the real test of the car now on the prime tyres, because the AI should be a lot quicker than us with their option tyres. Sorry, they're gonna be. I think they're gonna be on the primes as well, some of them, but they're still gonna be a lot quicker. As the AI just seems to be a lot quicker on the primes. So generally, the test of a good car is if it's better on the primes than another car. So Perez should be getting some tyre wear now. We're on brand new primes. He's on completely wrecked primes, so we should be able to close up to him. But at this point, there's so much more grip than there was before. You can see we're just getting so much like better turning and everything like that. It's all so much more fun to drive when your car's got new tyres on. You can just push so much harder. But there goes Perez. We've just passed him in the pit lane. So. And Rosberg is now leaving the pit lane, as you can see. It's going to be close. We're coming down to the first turn, and what we're going to do, we're going to try and hang it on the outside. Rosberg leaves the room, and we've just taken the position back off him, so that's really important, because Rosberg is the championship leader, and we need to take as many points off him as possible, and we've just taken the position back off him as he leaves the pit lane. Our warm tyres, as opposed to Nico's cold tyres, have allowed us the confidence to just go around the outside on turn 1. Alonso's now got a 15-second gap on us, so he's still pulling away. I mean, there's nothing much we can do about that. Our job now is pretty much to just hold Rosberg off until the end of the race. You can see there we're taking 150 through that corner again now, so now we've got the grip again. So coming down to the hairpin, down a second. Rosberg is in the DRS zone, so he's going to have DRS on us down the straight, so we're going to have to hopefully be able to defend him. If he passes us though, so we're going to have to just do our best down this straight. We actually get a pretty decent exit and then get a little bit of wheel spin, but we've left Rosberg for dead, so his tyres must be pretty cold still. We've actually pulled out on him. You can see there we've pulled out a gap on him, so that's great. We did a 26.3 there, but we've pulled out a gap on Rosberg. And the AI are quite mighty through this corner as well. They seem to nail it very well. Down to second, I think. No, we're holding third now because we've got more grip. Sometimes you have to switch down to second just to get the car to turn into that corner. This one should be second though. That corner there is all about carrying as much speed as you can through it. You might be tempted to get the car turning and pointing, but you actually gain lap time if you just carry as much speed as possible through it rather than hit the apex. And you can get away with not hitting the apex on that one back there. I'll show you again next time we come around. So second gear, this hairpin again. Some of these corners you can get away with missing the apex and you still carry more speed and you will gain lap time, so probably should have switched up there, shifted up. So riding these curves, it's important as well to have the car have a decent ride height because you've got to ride those curves, and that'll gain you lap time on the lap around Barcelona as well. So we're actually holding on to Alonso just about. So Alonso's 15.2, so coming to the first turn, down to third, make sure you get some of that round curve because that will give you a better exit. We're pushing really hard, the tyres are probably overheating a little bit, especially that front left there. So down to third for this corner, brake about there, coming underneath the bridge, underneath the sign. And coming uphill it's quite difficult because the car will try and step away from you. So you can see here, we don't hit the apex exactly, we kind of just carry as much speed as we can through it, and probably a little bit too much there. You can see here, just take a bit of this left-hand curve in third gear and then the right-hand one as well. Carrying speed through it. That corner's difficult because it's blind over the hill. It just opens out and you'll see the corner, actually edge of the corner appears over top of the hill. We've actually gained time on Alonso. I don't know what's going on with him, but we're 15 seconds back and we've gained a couple of tenths this lap. We're still being very careful because of Rosberg just behind us. You see there we've got a little bit of spin. Tried to kick us out to the left a little bit coming from the chicane. And a lot of wheel spin coming out the final chicane, but we've gone faster again, so we've just gone faster on our prime lap time, 25.7. I think Felipe's lap time as well will be helped by the fact he's in slipstream, so he's got slipstream and DRS probably a lot of time during this race. I think he does beat us on fastest lap again by about a tenth or so. So yeah, again he'll be helped by the fact he's in the train of cars that have got DRS and slipstream. They'll be just like kind of helping each other. Well, he just lost 4 tenths in the first sector there, so it wasn't a particularly good first sector. You see the car just struggles a little bit. If you take a little bit too much speed, the back end just tries to step out a little bit. We actually take 4th through there. That's probably the first time this race we've taken 4th gear, because got a little bit confident on a little more confidence on the turning of the car. Generally, earlier on, when you're not confident the car's going to turn in, you will go down to a lower gear and it will help you turn in a bit more. But once the car gets lighter, you can take a higher gear usually, because it will turn in a lot better. So Alonso's gained like about 8 tenths on us this lap, but like I said, he's not really what we're aiming for. We're just aiming to keep Rosberg behind us. Let's take 2 stabs at that right-hander there. So there's coming to this 4 laps to go now, and we get a good exit. Not a particularly brilliant exit, but a good exit. And we've lost a second on the lap because we weren't really quick. We went into normal mix, and Rosberg has had another run at us. And there's an AI there. We're going to settle in behind him, but he's gone very slow. We flicked to the left and very slightly touched Rosberg, but we're back ahead of him. We just can't wait behind an AI if they're going to sit there and not take the position off the back marker there, for example. And it's cost us again. Let's see, Rosberg's probably cost us like 4 or 5 seconds this race. So we probably would have been like a lot closer to Alonso than we were. I mean, early on in the race, we might have been, say we were like 2 seconds or so behind Alonso and Hamilton, then we lost like 2 seconds from the incident with Rosberg, which drops us right back. So if there was any battling with those 2 ahead of us, we might have been able to capitalise on it and get close to them, but that was all put to rest with when Rosberg tried to dive on us and hit the back end of us. But, we're back ahead and we're in 3rd place, and there's only going to be 3 laps to go after this. Gone lean because again we're just being really cautious on the fuel here, because we don't want to be running out of fuel coming over the line. We've actually got a really good exit there, and Rosberg's been left behind. So the last couple of laps we've lost about 3 seconds on Alonso, which again is quite disappointing, but there's nothing we can do about it really. Just trying to kind of go through this corner flat out. You want to kind of keep yourself to the right for that corner to start, because if you do come too far to the left, then you'll run out onto the left, over the left hand onto the runoff area. So for this lap, we're 2nd up on the last lap. So without all that battling with Rosberg and getting blocked, we've actually gained another second on that previous lap. Rosberg's really close to us now. I have no idea where my teammate is. He's just so far back on us. Like I said, we were going to blast him this race. We've absolutely shown him a clean pair of heels. So there's 2 laps to go after this one. Coming up the hill, into the right-hander. Nailed it sweetly. Into the chicane. Nice and controlled. Into Rich Mix, got a bit of wheel spin, as you see there. As soon as we put the throttle down and switched it to Rich Mix, the car decided it was going to kick out a bit. We're going to again have to go defensive, because Rosberg, look how fast he is. How much speed he's got. Is he going to learn this time? Is he going to leave us the room? Yes, he is. So again, he runs off the track to the left. There was room again for 2 cars. You can see what Rosberg just, there was like enough for another car between us there, and he's put himself under attack from Vettel because of that. And again, look at that, another second. So we're losing time every time Rosberg tries to move like that. And I'm not going to let him go because we'd lose third place. We would be off the podium. But just imagine how much closer to Alonso we would be if we weren't losing time, having to like kind of hang it out with Rosberg. So this is the second last lap, and we're just trying to hang on for dear life because his tyres are fresher now as well by an extra lap. So we've actually gained a little bit of time on Alonso as well. Coming into this left-hander here, just make sure we don't take too much of that left-hand curve. Up the hill. So if we can keep Rosberg behind us just for one last time down this straight, then I think we've got it in the bag. Because the run down to the final, like to the finish line, is like quite short, and we got really bad. We took that chicane horribly, and it's going to give Rosberg a very good run on us here. We go defensive. He's going to go around the outside of us again, and we're going to again be into the first turn. And this time we brake really late, and we don't touch again. And again, Rosberg's gone basically too far off the track. We were nowhere near touching there. There was at least a foot between the cars in that corner, and Rosberg just went again off the track. And we've lost another like second and a half to Alonso now. That cost us 7/10 in the first sector again. 7/10, and it's a lot of time. You can see it's allowing the cars behind us to catch up as well. So we're coming into the final sector of the lap. If we can keep all this neat and tidy, then we've got a podium on our hands, and it's a fantastic result in Barcelona for us if we do that. So we're 4/10 up on the previous lap, which wasn't very quick anyway. But up the hill into the right-hander. Alonso's won the race in Spain, so he's won his home Grand Prix. But we're coming to finish on the podium, like another Spanish driver on the podium, our Daniel Lopez. And here we go, around the final corner, onto the straight, just get the power down, and hope we're ahead of Rosberg coming over the line. Yes, we are. There's a gap, and we go to the right. We're celebrating. It is a podium for Williams, third place. So the two Spanish drivers on the podium. There we are, 21 seconds back on Alonso, but we're actually 11 seconds ahead of Felipe. He was a tenth quicker than us, but in terms of the race, we lost time. We lost a lot of time battling with Rosberg, so it could have been bigger. The gaps of our teammate could have been at least 5 or 6 seconds more, and we could have been like 16 seconds, 17 seconds up the road from him. But that's a fantastic result because we kept our championship rival behind us, and we finished 11 seconds ahead of our teammate. And we weren't that far off Fernando Alonso and Hamilton. We weren't. I mean, considering the car we've got, we were only 9/10 slower than Alonso, and Hamilton did a 23.9, but our fastest lap was pretty good. So there you can see the championship. We're now 38 points behind. So we're fifth in the championship. I was thinking about this race when I was saying before, but there you go. We're fifth in the championship, and Rosberg's on 95 points. We're on 57. Felipe is only on 20, and we're doing pretty well so far. So you can see we're actually we've got the Williams up there, and we're ahead of both McLarens. We're ahead of a Red Bull and a Ferrari. We're ahead of Force India. So I don't know what that's going to do for us in terms of the Constructors' Championship. I'll see that in a second. But yeah, a really good race, and there's some really good races coming up as well. We are very competitive. We've got Monaco and Canada, and then Austria coming after that. Haven't done Austria yet, but we've got Monaco and Canada where we are very, very competitive. So 2 fantastic races coming up for you on the channel. Anyway, if you did like this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you can get yourself in line for the new videos when they come out. And leave me a comment if you want. I do like to reply to your comments. I love interacting with you guys, so it's really good to do that. And yeah, we're probably going to go to the podium and just see us celebrating very shortly. I don't know how long I left this bit on for, basically, because I was so happy with this result. I kind of just sat there for a while and just like let it sink in. But yeah, so we're going to go to the podium now, and you're going to see our driver celebrating. Just want to say thank you for watching this video again. You guys are always awesome, and thank you for your support. You're always great. So I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye bye.